All right, what's up, guys? This is the very last checklist. Super important. I mean, we've already gotten everything posted. That's awesome. But if we don't archive and clean up all of our stuff, eventually the server's going to get totally full and everything's going to fall apart because we won't be able to edit anymore because there's no more disk space. So we got to clean up after ourselves once everything's posted. So the very first thing is to check the Google Doc Vimeo link to make sure your Vimeo link and YouVersion notes are in there. Super easy. We're just going to jump into this editing folder, into the Google Doc, and then we're going to 716, I believe. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I've already got my two links. I've got my Bible notes and I got my Vimeo link. Okay, so now that we've got the Google Doc done, let's do this. Confirm ProRes 720LT versions have been created, then delete the originals. So what is this? Just as a reminder, in a capture file, a ProRes HQ 1080p file is huge, 152 gigs. If we are archiving this every single week, you guys, it would be enormous. So we make an LT720 file for archive, and it is 720p LT at not even 15 gigs. And then what we do is we delete the original. Okay, so that one's done. Now for your camera ISOs, we got to do this too if they're really big. And so kind of depending on the type of camera, a lot of the Blackmagic Cinema cameras, those files, they're going to be huge. They're going to be 100 gigs, 90 gigs. And so you have to make that ProRes LT version. So let's just see how big this is to see if we need this. So this is 40 gigs, still 4 times bigger than the ProRes LT version. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to do that with this weird contents folder structure that a lot of these new cameras have. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Media Encoder, and there's kind of a bug in Media Encoder that if I were to just grab this contents and drag it in here, it would actually do it the wrong way. So I'm going to go into Clips, and I'm actually going to grab my very first file, my very first MXF file, and I'm going to drag it in here. I'm not going to let go. I'm going to see, and it's even that is not doing it the right way. Here, okay, there we go. Drop here to stitch clips together. So I'm going to let go on that, and then Media Encoder should take each one of the files in this playlist and stitch every single one of those together into a ProRes LT file. So a good way to kind of make sure that this did it right is you can click on the QuickTime right here, and it'll give you a preview. And you can see, in fact, that this file is 1 hour and 43 minutes long. So that's the duration of our service. It also says that it's a stitched clip at 422 proxy, which is 422 LT. Great, this looks good. And so then I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and I'm just going to save it right here as cam1. So file name, service, camera 1, ProRes LT 720. And then once this is done, then I can delete the originals. So let me do the second one real quick. All right, so my two cameras are now in there. They're both encoding to ProRes LT. And then once those are done, I can delete my master file. So let's get this done. Okay, so now my ProRes 720 LT versions have been created for my master capture and my two cameras. And also, I've deleted my master capture files. Okay, so now that's done. We are going to archive our entire project to S3, which is an online cloud storage system, and then we're going to delete it off of our servers. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and open up CrossFTP. you should see buckets like this. Now, if you're in one of the buckets, it might see something kind of like that. You can always hit the double period up here, which is kind of like up a level, and you can do it until you see the buckets here. And what we're going to go into is Service Master Archive, and then either Phoenix or Yuma. And so I'm in Phoenix right now, and then I'm just going to grab my project folder. And, you know, it's always kind of weird, you know, if you drag it over, you kind of feel like you're going to drag it into one of these projects. But you know what, this, for whatever reason, it's just bad design on this app. It doesn't actually do that, so I can just kind of go in here and I can drag it. And a good way to check to see, hey, did I do that right, is if you go up here and hit refresh, you should be able to immediately see your upload happening. So here it is, 716 SD maturity. So cool, I did it right. It didn't actually go into this Praying Life folder. It's going into the right place. So this is going to run for a while, and then once it's done, I can delete it off of my server. Okay, so my archive to S3 has just completed. Now we are going to delete that folder out of ingest. Awesome. This is what we like to see, completely empty. So I'm going to right click on this, just hit move to trash and delete. Oh man. Okay, so that's done. And then these last two, these are things that we basically just to clean up a little bit. And then you also might see another one like to delete the multi track audio from the FOH computer. That is a task in Yuma, and basically you would either need to remote into that computer and delete it, or just go into the sound booth, find that file and delete it. And that's just kind of on that's on the editors to clean up, because those files are really just for us. So for the Facebook live stream video, this is just something that you would just assign to me. And then once I would get that assignment, I would get this deleted and then check this off. And then unpublish the YouTube live stream video. This is also something you would just assign to me, and then I would get that done. And then basically this whole project is done. Now, there's always going to be little things that are changing and updating. If the video doesn't completely match what you see in your to-do list, then you know what, just jump into this campfire and you can give some context to the chat and just say, hey Zeke, I had a quick question about this to-do, or even just text me and say, hey, can I give you a call or whatever, and I'll be happy to walk through any changes or updates that happen to the list. Just we're always going to be changing and updating things because we want things to get better and we want things to be good. So, all right, thanks guys.